Hello, this is Rain Rosling, and this is my review of Disenchanted. Now, this movie is basically a sequel. This movie Enchanted, which is basically like a fictional princess ends up in the real world, and actually, and her knowledge of true love is tested. Now, I don't remember so much of the plot of the Enchanted movie, because I learned that a pair, and at the end of the, now from my thoughts of the Enchanted movie, my mind was upset that Chewie strangely was now in love with the other guy instead of the prince. I was like, well, but they were together. And I didn't know. Who's this random lady? And apparently I didn't know. And because I was so young and didn't understand most of the plot or dialogue, apparently this random lady that the prince ended up marrying was gonna be the lady. It's actually the lawyer's girl. Like, I didn't know. Like, what? Oh, I didn't know that. Robert Phillip. Apparently, Robert's almost fiance was actually Nancy. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, but now looking back, I'm kind of starting to realize, okay, there probably was a reason why that happened, and again, and looking at the sequel, I can see why it's probably a better idea for that this switch happened. Did Giselle and her family now moving to the suburbs to a village called Monroeville. Morgan's a teenager, and she feels uncomfortable with Giselle. And I think Morgan is, I guess, that sarcastic and emotional, not fully matured type of teen. Now, I know that teens in movies can be messy, and try to represent one can be messy too. I realize that, because some teens are gonna be mature. I'm 17 and recording this video. Some teens won't be mature and be very childish, and again, that depends on the person. She doesn't seem to be saying like any weird slang, anything, and I can definitely tell that the actress playing her is definitely like 21 years old, but I understand that, which I know annoys people for having young adults playing teens instead. Some teens can end up, because some teens look too younger, but I am aware that some teens can look almost adult-ish. Like some boys were able to like have mustaches and beards at an early age, which was very strange for me to learn. I mean, realistically, some teens are gonna end up looking like adults by 17, but from what I know that have learned that they hire older actors because having minors, they have restrictions on how many hours, and they also have to struggle with homework and school. And from what I've learned is some teens and young children that come out of the industry can really come out rough with like addictions and problems. So I don't think it's bad to have a young child acting, but some kids really come out of it really traumatized and have problems. So I know it is bothering that Morgan is played by an adult, but I'm willing to understand that having a teen can be messy, and again, she might have been chosen because she might have been chosen at auditions because they might have also liked her the best out of all the auditioners. There's two. Like, there's other factors that happened when choosing one. I didn't like how Morgan was characterized in the beginning. Like, there's one scene where she's kind of like busy on her phone, not helping Dad. And yeah, she's kind of being emotional, but for the rest of the movie, she's acting reasonable. I mean, yeah, there are times where she's kind of like under that fantasy spell, but she's acting kind of reasonable, not always this way. And I think the rest of her is fine. And I would rather have Morgan trying to help Dad while being distracted on the phone, because that is something I would do sometimes. I'm kind of am like understanding why Morgan's kind of being annoyed with the singing, because over time, yeah, that would actually get boring. Another note is that these are my thoughts on the movie. If you dislike it or you're okay, you like it, that's fine. There was definitely like a bit of cliche, like object is magical cliche, memories is magical. There was a lot of fairy tale references, a lot of Cinderella references, and there's one like reference to Cinderella's sequel. But there are like there is some like other downsides was like I guess the annoying bad blonde stereotype. Like, there's this one that's kind of the popular guy's girlfriend, which is annoying. Please stop that. And again, it also was like the dumb blonde psychic. I mean, it might not have been like, that weird psychic thing that she might have been just chosen because she was the funniest, but I am realizing that having really bad blonde stereotypes are getting really annoying, and this is like affecting how people see blondes. And yes, this did actually the way blondes making blondes either the bad girl, the other guy, or being dumb. It is starting to. And I remember like a commercial where a blonde girl was annoyed of people assuming she was dumb. So this weird characterization is annoying. And I actually had like this thought and I also had that mindset of like blondes being somewhat being bad in my head too. It's not something I don't want. I wish this was please don't have blondes be the popular girl. It's really annoying. I mean, the psychic, I think that wasn't like intentional. The actress might have been just funny, just like not intentional doing the dumb blonde stereotype. And there was some parts that were like smart, like the kid blocking the dragon cave smart, and you only saw like the fire, not the actual dragon, which basically like saved them a lot of money and CGI and time. Like, there's this scene of okay, is his name? There's a scene where Robert tries to fight the dragon and the kid just blocks the entrance, which is a smart move. And there is some unexpected territory. Like, I thought the movie was just good. Like, the wand gets stolen by that makes the reality happen is stolen. And I thought this movie was like, oh, just gonna be about trying to get it back. But then it's all of a sudden Giselle's wanting to just fight the queen. Have a show off of trying to kill each other. Okay, then that's not what I wanted. It's not what I expected. and she's just and Giselle's like the evil stepmother mode. She's not. She just wants the wand for control, really. And when I saw this Maldiva Monroe, well, she's basically like she's an antagonist here, and she's supposed to be leader of the city council before of normal Monroeville, and I thought she was. And my theory was that if the town is like named after your last name, there was like if my dad was there, then maybe she was like married to the mayor. But again, mayors do change. Wait a minute, can you actually wait a minute? I thought she was gonna be mayor, but again, you can only be mayor for 2 years. So, and again, people might just have last names. I think she might have been intentionally being the mayor, but again, it's really an over stereotype of having the mayor be like mayor political person be the villain. That's annoying. She's basically the nosy neighbor that must get involved in everything and must know about everyone and is leader of this town council. I had a theory that she was she was the owner of the town, and the town was owner of the HOA. The town was her HOA. Now an HOA is a house organization. Wait, no. It's a homeowners association. Is basically an organization that can basically control how your property looks. And to be honest, I feel like that would be a good role that fits her, because HOAs can be a bit too controlling. She's kind of almost like and HOAs can also act as a local government. They actually aren't part of an actual government, but they act similar to one. They basically are able to give you fees for like control how your house looks. And since she's like becomes the equivalent of a queen, I feel like her being HOA would like be possible, and the neighborhood being this organization that she a neighborhood organization that she owns, especially since this is in the suburbs, which is what HOAs are usually about. So would it be possible that Monroeville is actually an HOA? And when you live in an HOA, you have to like pay fees when living in this neighborhood and like follow some certain rules in it. There's nothing in the description about her being described as an HOA, but I feel like that's just my personal theory, and I felt like that detail would make more sense and fit her character. I just think that detail would have fit her more and explain why it's maybe more likely it's Monroeville. She might have been mayor, but it might have been like delayed and cut. So no. The song at the end was nice. It was nice and sweet. And also there was some 2D animation was really smooth, and it got me in. I know that some people have been wanting the full 2D Disney movie, and when I saw the 2D, that was also like making me go, okay, now I'm actually more interested in having one. There were some parts that felt unused, like there's this scene where Melvina was about to cut the scroll, and I think there should have been like a scene of her trying to, the scroll is showing that it's immune to cutting, but apparently after that scene it seems to be still intact. Yeah, maybe you should have shown that scene. I think that might have been cut. And the poor baby. It wasn't used to the poor baby that Giselle had. It was I forgot the baby's name, but it was. I thought they were gonna because the wand said because the wand can only be used by true Indonesian person, and the gift was originally given to the baby. Giselle was gonna, the baby was gonna be able to use the wand. When baby probably wouldn't be able to use the wand. Usually you would need like, yeah, you could like have the baby a toddler and able to maybe say some wish in order to like fix things. And again, they will like have to recut and change some things. So yeah, the baby wasn't really used too much. But I think it was like an interesting aspect of like when Morgan finds out that she can't use the wand, she definitely was upset by that. So I guess Morgan was intended to be able to use the wand, and pretty much the baby's purpose was to just be given the wand for like the baby. Or maybe that was just a housewarming gift. Like, oh not the poor baby. Yikes, the baby didn't get used too much. Like, wait, they're like like when you show off something, you're supposed to like play a bigger purpose or at least some purpose in the film. The felt like they didn't play too much. I mean, yeah, they were babies. They were a toddler, they would play much more better role. Yikes. And yeah, it kind of was like nipping. I guess the point was to nip. I guess complain about like true genetic actual only someone of certain heritage can use it, or something of someone's special heritage is special. I guess it kind of is a note of it. Like Giselle, she doesn't care if Morgan isn't a real hero. Like, so she's not biologically one, but to her she is. Whatever. I guess we could just yes, whatever. It depends on the definition of true then. True Indonesian's child. Also, I did not like Prince Charming. I did not like the Prince Charming's like weird conservative sayings. I mean, sometimes we are called someone pleasant, and just the emphasis of it was like, yeah, he's kind of conservative. I mean, yeah, he's kind of raised in like this medieval time. Yeah, that bothered me.
No, that actually.
Wait.
So that is was he actually? I don't know. I think he maybe was. And then it kind of made me change my mind. Like, okay, maybe Nancy was a good idea, because there are times where he acts that way, and her modern beliefs can like help in certain situations back in the kingdom. Yeah, I would say like I think maybe somewhere around middle there were. I guess the scene of like fighting the dragon again, and like Morgan's I Want song felt a little filler. That's when it started. That was a part that felt a little boring, but the rest of the movie, it was entertaining. And my thoughts is that if you were looking for or if the movie like entertains you, that is completely fine. Not every movie has to be a masterpiece. I think this did mostly okay at its job of entertaining. There are some nitpicks would have. I think it's just mostly the bad blonde stereotype, but mostly the movie was okay.